Hello again everybody, very warm welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing quite well. It's been a little while since we've last done this. We're here at East Midlands for an ATC stream for the first time in a very long time. Just getting handover from the current controller that's online at the moment. Big thank you to Will for jumping in and dealing with a lot of the ATC over the last hour as well. Just a nice handover period. And going to be knocking a bit of rust off, so it's going to take a few minutes for me to just get everything set up and reconfigured, ready to go. We can see quite a few on the radar already. Got Tomjet 79 Charlie and Ryanair 5 Echo Whiskey got the clearance. Osprey 614 Yankee and Osprey 21 ready to go. Badger welcome. Zato, David, hello guys, good to see you all. If you're new to the channel, perhaps a newbie on VATSIM as well, feel free to ask questions, hit like, hit subscribe. If you're going to be flying, you can feel free to share your route in the live chat today as well, and we'll help each other work out potentially your first VATSIM experience, which hopefully I can take part in. So if you are new to the channel, just realised I've been transmitting to you the whole time as well. If you are new to the channel, then hit like, hit subscribe, and check out the VATSIM tutorials that I've got going on as well, which would be quite cool. Mikkel and Living on a Player, welcome. I've had the mic live the whole time with Will. I've just seen it flipping away. The poor guys had to listen to all that introduction. Starters didn't mean to go on. Crikey. Right, let me just get handover. I'm ready for handover whenever you are. Zalo, welcome. 27 kilo. Awesome. 27 and kilo with those two cleared. Appreciate the handover. Cheers, have a good day. Right, there we go. Jeez. Right, let me just check my comms here as well. I'm going to have to get the ATIS fired up. Kilo, EGNX ATIS, get MEDAR. Actually, 1220 said yes, so that's good. Is it going to connect? I think it has. So, I think the last time we did this was April, and VATSIM now require you to do various bits of controlling over a period of time. So they expect you to run, for example, one controller stream for at least 3 hours of controlling, rather, actually. They because I'm getting that mixed up already. They expect you to do at least 3 hours of controlling every quarter. Living on a Player, no, so the coordination is in the background and it should be quite an out of the way. Yeah, if you're controlled in April, should be good this quarter, but I'm going to try and do it every kind of... Lost station call in East Midlands Ground. Is that Tomjet 79 Charlie?
Affirmative, stand 5, ready for push.
Tomjet 79 Charlie, thanks. Stand 5, push to start approved.
Push set approved, Tomjet 79 Charlie.
So on the right of your screen, folks, we've got V-strips, and it's like basically a screen that air traffic control, it kind of replicates their own digitized screens that they have in the tower. It allows you to move the strips, basically each aeroplane, the strips around on the screen, and it allows you to then kind of route through various different elements of sequencing. So everything starts at the top left in planned departures. Once they get cleared, they go into the middle box where the Ryanair is, and then when they get for push, Tomjet 79 Charlie, for example, he blips across to the bottom right, and then taxi, and then at that point it will be handed off to Unicom, because there is no other ATC online at this moment in time. Score 647. Yeah, it's been a little while since I've done this, so I'm a little nervous, and no doubt going to be a tad rusty as well. Which is why, you guys.
East Midlands Ground, hello, Osprey 614 Yankee, with information Kilo, QNH 1011 at stand 16, aircraft type A320, looking for IFR clearance to Gatwick, please.
Osprey 614 Yankee, East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. You're cleared to London Gatwick Airport via the Daventry 3 November departure, initial climb 9,000 feet, squawk 7025.
Roger, cleared to Gatwick via the Daventry 3 November departure. Expected climb 9,000, squawking 7025, Osprey 614 Yankee.
Osprey 614 Yankee, reback correct, report, ready for push.
And we'll report ready for push, Osprey 614 Yankee.
Sorry, was you saying you were ready for push? Afternoon Information Alpha, welcome, congratulations to you. You've surpassed 2,000 subscribers, which I know is difficult. Toby Carvery, Charlton fan, welcome to you. Is this the normal flight sim? Yes, so in the background we've got TowerView, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And then the bottom left is my radar screen, the bottom right is the V-strips thing as well. The transition today is 7-0 for arrivals into East Midlands. And yeah, I can't remember, was it April when we last did the controller stream, David? It's been a little while. But you know, I do want to kind of control once every 2-3 months. Ross, whoopsie. Good point, thank you. Yeah, flight level 9-0, my bad. Like I said, there's going to be elements of rust or knock off today. I pretty much 99% of the time do the flying. Day Gamer, welcome. Afternoon to Weil, good to see you, mate. April up north in Edinburgh. Okay, yeah, so we are cleared for this. I thought it was March for some reason, but we're cleared for this quarter, which means from next month we'll have to do it again. How exciting. What do we got? So, flight level 9-0, yeah, okay, whoopsie. How's the yoke issue from yesterday? Awesome Pigeon's asking. It's still a problem. I don't understand why, but yeah, super strange. Super strange.
And ground Osprey 614 Yankee, ready for push and start.
Osprey 614 Yankee, stand 16, push and start approved.
Stand 16, push and start approved, Osprey 614 Yankee.
So the transition altitude climbing out is 6,000. Transition level coming in is flight level 70 with the current QNH of 1011.
And Tomjet 79 Charlie, road taxi.
Tomjet 79 Charlie, taxi to hold point Alpha 1 runway 27 via Tango and Alpha.
Tango and Alpha, holding point Alpha 127, Tomjet 79 Charlie.
Alpha 1, bop. So now we move the Tomjet to the taxi screen at the bottom. Is Tomjet 79 Charlie in the live chat? If you are, hello to you. Check your squawk. Centuria, good morning, mate. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the yoke issue. It could be the Xbox controller, but there's no axis bound to it, so it's very weird. My friends are flying to Corfu at 2:30 with Jet 2. Look after them, Dwal says. In real life, yeah? Russ, so you open vPilot up in TowerView. So you open it and then you just type .TowerView. And then from there, it'll only let you connect once you've connected the Euroscope client and you've got everything all connected on here, and you've got the proxy server. But then you click .TowerView in vPilot, the normal vPilot as if you're flying, and it will then link into the sim. And Tomjet 79 Charlie, just check your squawk 6474, and no further ATC. So continue on Unicom 122.8. Have a good flight.
Right, Unicom, and we're showing 6474 for Tomjet 79 Charlie.
Have a good day. So we then go, pop, so he disappears. We've got rid of him now. VATSIM pilot, welcome. Got UPS 2 Charlie Charlie there as well. You can see the Tomjet taxiing off at the back of your screens there. And the big old power station in the background. This is Pyreek Devco's East Midlands Airport scenery today, which is really good. Always is really good. The the quality of the scenery from Pyreek Devco generally is epic anyway. And with that, the link is in the description down below if you want to get your hands on it. Yeah, Russ, that's it. So I've had to do that, matey. I've had to install a brand new Euroscope client. It was actually quite simple. There's no additional stuff to do beyond like a normal update, really. But also bear in mind now, Russ, you've got to control for at least 3 hours every quarter. So just bear that in mind as well. Otherwise, you have to do mentor sessions and stuff again. Information out. What's the issue you're having? So yesterday, the autopilot disconnected. And 3 times my Boeing TCA yoke started to... It basically, the aileron axis on the yoke suddenly changed to the little plastic crappy slider on the bottom left of the yoke system, if that makes sense. Really weird. But yeah. Andy, PMDG 737 is indeed in the marketplace on sale. Personally, I would steer away from buying anything on the marketplace, even if it is discounted for a little while. But I would personally focus on just buying it direct from PMDG, because it certainly, when Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 comes out, for example, you know, if and when PMDG patch the 737 to work with the new sim, that will be instant when they push the update on their operations center via the PMDG website. On the marketplace, however, you might have to wait an entire month. That's 2. Welcome, mate. Good to see you. How have you been? How was the holiday? Ooh, I'm not sure, Russ. There was, so VATSIM UK, for example, by the end of March, you had to have controlled, I think, for at least a couple of hours in the last 6 months. It was something like that. David might know the thing a little bit more, actually. Someone called Ray. Hello, matey. 3 hours today. Off goes the Tomjet. Zoom, zoom.
Osprey 614 Yankee, ready for taxi.
Osprey 614 Yankee, taxi to hold point Alpha 1 runway 27 via Charlie Alpha, Quebec and Alpha.
Roger, taxi to Alpha 1, runway 27 via Charlie Alpha, Quebec and Alpha.
Hello Tango, morning mate. So he's on that, so we'll go Alpha 1, boop, sip that across to taxi. Yeah, I suppose if you go onto the VATSIM website for the UK, as David's saying, actually it's a good point, you should be able to see your current controller rating, and if they've revoked your S1, then you might then make, you might have to start again basically. And all stations, East Midlands Ground, new QNH 1010. I almost said Edinburgh. It's nice doing these. I think we should do them more often. I think I said that last time. Bit of a chill day, isn't it, really? Off goes Zato in his rather sexy looking Osprey Airways outfit. And it's information Lima now. Winds 190 at 13 knots at East Midlands. I think it's very similar to the UK, David, then. You've got to do a load of mentor sessions and things. I'm just going to check the transition level. Where is it? One zero one zero. Still transition level 7.5.
And East Midlands Ground, Ryanair 5 Echo Whiskey is ready for push and start.
Ryanair 5 Echo Whiskey, East Midlands Ground. Hello. Stand 11. Push and start approved. Face east. Yeah, east.
Facing east for Ryanair 5 Echo Whiskey.
And Osprey 614 Yankee. No further ATC. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a good flight.
Over to Unicom. Thanks for the ATC. We'll talk to you later. Osprey 614 Yankee.
See ya.
So.
Oh. So he's cleared the push, we'll move him across, and Zato's released, so we'll get rid of him on the taxi strip. Bump. Off it goes. Century says he's got to get his 3 hours up at Anchorage as a visitor this month if he's I'm thinking of flying in the area at some point. Dwal loves the ATC sessions, he says, mainly because I'm too scared to attempt to do it myself. I mean, there is a big old queue. That's half of the issue with this sort of thing. There's a big old queue for controller training, which is the problem. A lot of the time. You know, if I wanted to progress to Tower again, there's a massive waiting list. And it just is... So I put it in the too difficult box. I would absolutely love to be a Tower controller. I say it all the time, but no, alas, I'm not allowed. And I won't get the hours up either. Wesley, good afternoon. How are you? How long am I live for? Till 4. Yeah, I think it's 12 to 18 months or something crazy in the UK still. Probably longer these days. Russ says, where can I find the new rules? I'm not sure. I remember there being, I thought, a tweet or something about it. Maybe on VATSIM UK's Instagram. I spent an hour yesterday looking and I couldn't find it. 2 years for S2 in the UK. Yes, screw that. 100%. Well, yeah. So hopefully, this, you know, I've done a lot of the VATSIM tutorials of us actually flying, but hopefully this helps consolidate it from the other side, so you guys can see what the controller sees on the ground, and you hear people get clearance quite a few times and all the rest of it. Centuria says in the US, at least he's found S2 is the easiest jump. Yeah, I mean, that's primarily one of the reasons, isn't it, why, David, you jumped across to VATSIM Canada, because of the struggle of progression with VATSIM UK. But again, I think somebody mentioned it in the live chat a second ago. A lot of people waiting and not enough instructors. Trainers. And the training with VATSIM UK is quite rigorous. Ah, there you go, Russ, in the live chat, David, one of our moderators there, has popped the link for the new roles for you. He's off and away. Colours, brightness. Yeah, it's a bit of a monopoly at the top, David Dwal, really. New Eric indeed, LJC. Hello to you, mate. I hope you're well. Says, good afternoon. Just recently got his S1 in VATSIM Scandinavia. Gave up waiting for VATSIM UK and went to VATSIM Scandinavia instead, and he's waiting on doing his S2 soon. VATSIM Scandinavia have got some of the best air traffic controllers on VATSIM. Full stop. I think they're a cracking bunch of folks. Really, really nice guys. Perhaps that's where I get my training. Maybe I'll move over to them. I want to be able to say the immortal words of like Osprey 165, runway 27, clear for takeoff. It's just simple, or Osprey 165, runway 27, cleared land. With winds or whatever else. Yeah, it'd be great. Greek airspace, they're magnificent. Well, they are, I think, probably the best controllers. Well, it's close between them and VATSIM Scandinavia, to be fair, and a lot more coverage. I've noticed recently VATSIM coverage in the UK is kind of teetered off a little bit. Still pretty good, more so on the weekends, but you look at VATSIM Scandinavia and things, at least the times that I fly, which in fairness in the UK is kind of middle of the working week kind of time. Most people are at work, hence no controllers. But VATSIM Scandinavia and Hellenic VAC as well, they tend to be online because obviously they're a few more hours ahead. The thing with Greek airspace is can't speak Greek. Same with Scandinavia. I can't speak Danish or Swedish or anything. Yeah, Dwal needs a couple more to connect in and fly. I mean, the camera at the moment blocks off the all of this cargo area. There was a UPS sat there, but he's now disconnected. Usually it takes a little while for people to warm up. There are a couple of people flying in as well, which I'd imagine will take an hour or so before the arrivals start to kick in. Ooh, what's this bit of news? Oh, it's just FS Labs saying that they are bringing their product line over to Microsoft Flight Simulator, but there's suggestion from another forum member they might be waiting for the next iteration, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. But Norman from the dev team has denied that rumour. Very wishy-washy news, though. How did you find the training, LJC? And do you end up kind of looking at, well, how do you deal with the language barrier kind of things as well? Awesome Pigeon, yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator has changed the landscape of flight simming in general, I think. It's pretty crazy. Flight Sim's kind of had a bit of a resurgence, I think. It's surged in popularity since Microsoft Flight Simulator's come out, and certainly, as much as there has been a lot of criticism with it, I think the fact they bought Microsoft Flight Simulator out on Xbox has pulled a lot of people in. So there's a guy at work, one of my bosses actually, who turns out is a fan of the channel, and he he came over to me at work the other week and he goes, "Oh, are you British Av Geek? Because I was listening to one of your videos the other day and I'm pretty certain it's you." And it turns out he's a long-time subscriber. But he was saying he's flying on Xbox, Microsoft Flight Simulator. And actually, he's now getting the pull to get a PC. He's really wanting to get sucked into the more immersive version and experience by having a computer for Flight Sim again. So he's looking at changing from Xbox to PC. And I think a fair few people would if they've got the money. What version of Euroscope have I got, Russ? I'm not sure. And I don't know if I can find out. No. Oh, it's, yeah, super expensive hobby to get into.
Ryanair 5 Echo Whiskey ready for taxi.
Ryanair 5 Echo Whiskey, taxi to hold point Alpha 1 runway 27 via Charlie, Romeo and Alpha.
Taxi holding point runway 27 via Charlie, Romeo and Alpha for Ryanair.
And now we have no traffic. Alpha 1, he's on the taxi.
I slowed down.
Thanks. It's going to get lonely otherwise. LJC says, I'm always very sad Glasgow doesn't have much coverage in the UK. It's his home airport. I wish it had more coverage. I've done Glasgow a couple of times, as David's saying. That was pretty much where you did most of your controlling, actually, David, wasn't it? LJC says that VATSIM Scandinavia have been very good. They assign one mentor to one student. They do theory sessions and lots of sweatbox. They all speak English. Sometimes they'll speak different languages with other people in voice channels. That's fair enough. Yeah, I was considering putting Humberside one of the options for members on the channel, our channel members, to vote on for where we do the controller session today. We put out of the selection for today, we put London Luton, Birmingham, Manchester, East Midlands, Edinburgh and Bristol. And overwhelmingly, most said East Midlands actually, and it is a really nice airport to operate from actually as a controller, so it's a good choice. Yeah, new AirAC from Navigraph is now out, 2406. The AirAC cycle has just been released. And they've also got a G3X Navigraph avionics plugin that's been released as well. So they've announced the latest addition to a series of plugins for the Garmin avionics suite within Microsoft Flight Simulator. And this one allows plugin for G3X, allowing you to view maps and Jeppesen charts and import flights from SimBrief into those relevant aircraft. Things like the JMB VL3M, the Cubcrafters X Cub, and the NX Cub in msfs. And now they've finally started to properly talk about their takeoff and landing calculators in their news feed as well, which is awesome. Which we've covered a fair bit actually recently. Lightforce Roblox says, any tips for starting on VATSIM? Give it a go. Just, you know, throw yourself into it and enjoy it. Try not to worry too much about some of the super serious side of it, but definitely check out all of the tutorials that I've done on the channel here, and they'll hopefully get you started. Someone called Ray says, Fly Tampa has just come out with a really nice scenery for Humberside. Yeah, they have indeed. I haven't actually checked it out yet, but it is on my never-ending list of things to go and have a look at. Delta Tango, morning matey. No worries at all. I think you're right, David. I think that's one of those, it's kind of like a couple of sites pulled into a radar from memory. Good stuff though. Managed to hit things with Mavericks and DCS. Nice. So I can do the Mavericks with the FA-18, but beyond that, I haven't really had much success elsewhere, and it's really tough in the F4 Phantom with the TV-guided Mavs. I have actually today, though, David, just installed the Echo 9 or the Echo 19 mods, the community mod, the A4 as well, and I'm in the process of doing the SAM mod that's available. Ryanair 5 Echo Whiskey, no further ATC for you. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a good flight.
Over to Unicom on 122.8 for Ryanair 5 Echo Whiskey. Thanks for the ATC, and hopefully we will get to port. Obviously in Danish. Bye bye. Hi hi.
So yeah. Radio, have I ever considered doing air traffic control as a job? Certainly with the huge salaries indeed. I have considered it 2 or 3 times. The problem is, it's like a 6-month residential course with NATS in the UK, and you can fail at any point. So for me to go and do that, I've got to stop doing my full-time work, which I need to do to pay my mortgage for my house, which is the same problem I've had with the Speedbird Academy that I got very close to getting on a course for, finally becoming an airline pilot, my dream. Speedbird 289, East Midlands Ground. Good afternoon. You're cleared to Copenhagen via the Trent to November departure. Initial climb 6,000 feet. And squawk 4472.
Good afternoon to 6,000 initial cleared to Copenhagen, Trent to November departure, squawk 4472.
Speedbird 289, readback correct. QNH 1010, report ready for push.
QNH 1010, over the
He's cleared. Bum, 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 bum. Just checking another chart here. And yeah, 6,000. Flight level 9 and 0 for the other one, which is what I cocked up the other day. Earlier on, I mean. Matthew, good morning, mate. How are you? Patrick, the squawk is automatically assigned for me as the controller, so it's probably hard for you to see, but on the radar at the bottom left, there's a little list. I'll drag it around now so you can see it moving. And each bit is one call sign with a whole line of data, like whether they're IFR, VFR, where they're going, what departure routing they've got, the initial climb altitude for that departure routing, and then their squawk, the assigned squawk. So for that aircraft, it's automatically generated 7536, 4472. I don't know if I could do that, Wesley. That'd be quite tough. Certainly if they get busy. How are you doing, Matthew? Hope you're well. Ray, the time constraints on the Pole Hill departures. Blah, blah, blah. Let's have a look. Yeah, 2200 to 0600, basically. That's the nighttime departure. And it's only for runway 09er as well. Looking at the current crib sheet. That'd be a cracker, wouldn't it, Delta Tango? A bunch of pilots just running shuttles between East Midlands and Manchester or Birmingham. That'd be super quick. Nasty crosswind at East Midlands today. Yeah, 30. It's literally 13 knots north to south. It's hurling over the cargo centre on the far side, whipping straight across the runway for the crosswind today. Makes it a bit more of a spicy challenge. Let's see if I'll just have a look at some of my settings here. F1. Okay, that is East Midlands. That's the approach screen. LJC saying there, forgot to mention that he sat in the VATSIM UK line for 1 year to start his training, but it took him just 3 months to get through training in Scandinavia. That's very impressive, actually. Delta Tango, it was Heathrow to East Midlands, wasn't it? The DHL hop. I've got the wake turbulence calculator now. Don't need that. Yeah, the queues are the biggest problem, I think, really, for a lot of people. Certainly committing the time, because you need to have a mentor who can actually teach you how to use software like this, the Euroscope, or depending on whatever software is used by the VATSIM group in that country. So I think Australia or the US use something very different. David says it looks weird having one Euroscope screen open. It can't be that weird. Robert says, would Birmingham or Manchester accept VFR flights in VATSIM? Yeah, so even East Midlands would as well. But it depends on how much traffic is going on. So if Manchester, for example, has a really busy period of time and then you connect in as a Cessna 152 to do some circuits, for example, you might get told no by the controller if it's really busy, because in real life IFR traffic takes priority over VFR traffic. So you might be told you can't do circuits, or if you get airborne, they might end up just telling you to orbit downwind, and then you're just stuck doing circles on the downwind leg, waiting for the IFR traffic to finish coming in before you get cleared to continue with your circuits. So it's where it gets really quite convoluted. Certainly in the UK, VFR in general is very restrictive. We spoke about it yesterday as well. It's quite difficult for you in real life to do VFR flying without getting close to various bits of controlled airspace that you have to avoid. And I had experience of that when I was flying out of Denham, because I had to keep it. If I bust 1,000 foot on the climb out of Denham before a certain point, a visual reference point, then I would all of a sudden ping onto Heathrow's radar. Heathrow would then call Denham and put a formal complaint in, and they did it regularly for a lot of pilots that dimped. So a bit of a headache. If you're further up north, as Pigeon is saying, around Scotland, for example, you could go and do Barra and all that sort of stuff, and you could do around the north coast of Scotland, and typically you're outside of a lot of controlled airspace there. So
DD6626 Airbus A320neo request IFR clearance to land with information data.
EKBI. Easy 6626 East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. You're cleared to Billund via the Trent 2 November departure, runway 27. The initial climb 6,000 feet. and squawk 5223.
Cleared to Boulogne via the Trent 2 departure, runway 27 for departure. Squawk is going to be 5223 and initial altitude is 6000 feet,
Easy 6626, read back correct, report ready for push QNH 1010.
QNH 1010 will acknowledge when ready for push, Easy 6626.
Wesley's saying, yeah, in general in real life, VFR in the US is mega simple in comparison. You could just say, I'm going to fly over there, and you can just buzz over the Boston airport if you want to, if you've got the clearance to go through their airspace. But they're more likely to say yes. You look at Gatwick or Heathrow in the UK, you're guaranteed they'll say no. So, it's quite restrictive. Peter Mathis says he flew to Amsterdam the other day in the Just Flight Fokker F-28, and his air traffic controller on that day told him that it wasn't possible to fly an aircraft on VATSIM that can't fly GPS waypoints. Whoa, chuffing heck. You can. It is very difficult though. I assume you were flying like a VOR based routing anyway, so you were flying VOR Airways or directs between VORs with radials and things. And if you've planned that, there's nothing wrong with that. It just requires a bit more work from the controller to work out if it's a valid route or not, and that's where the issue comes in really for the current AirACs. They're all kind of GPS based waypoints. We've got a Eurowings on text only. Yeah, it's basically, as David's saying there, it's a controller not wanting to do vectors. Disappointing, but I suppose it also depends on how busy he was, or she was. If it was mega busy, yeah, fair enough.
Easy 6626, ready for pushback.
Easy 6626, stand 10, push start approved, face east.
Push approved, space east 6626.
6626, boink. T's on the push. Winds 200 at 14 now on the new ATIS info mic, so it's getting a bit more windy. Peter, no worries at all, matey. Unfortunately, I can't do anything other than ground. I would love to do tower. I'd love to do radar, but it's never going to happen, unfortunately, because of the wait lists. Linaris, hello, says you can fly VFR in Iceland if you want to. Yeah, the UK, I think more so than anywhere else in the world, is quite restrictive with VFR in general in real life, so the CAA are basically shutting out a whole lot of general aviation in reality, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Proper chill vibes today, actually. And it's nice to see you guys enjoying the controller side of stuff as well. It's they always tend to be quite popular streams, and I need to do more of them really, because you guys clearly all enjoy it. There's already we've been live 45 minutes and we've had 42 likes. Appreciate all of that, and it's good to see the live feedback from that really, to push me into doing it a little bit more. But I've got to say, I've absolutely been thoroughly enjoying my DCS flying lately. DCS has properly sucked me in. It's so exciting. It's an experience you can't get on a normal flight sim like MSFS or X-Plane. It's actually thrilling. So if you haven't tried DCS, you can download it for free, and you can actually download like the FA-18 and the Persia map, for example, for free on a trial for 2 weeks, and you can just blast around, give it a little go, and see if you fancy it.
Midlands Ground, hello, Giant 53 Tango on stand. 76 information migrate for units to complete.
Giant 53 Tango, East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. Cleared to Copenhagen via the Trent 2 November departure, runway 27. Initial climb, altitude 6,000 feet, squawk 5231.
Clear to Copenhagen, Trent 2 November departure, initial climb 6,000, squawk 5231, Giant 53 Tango.
Giant 53 Tango, read correct. QNH 1010, report ready for push. Now, why has my little Dewberry line gone missing?
QNH 1210 and Wilco, Giant 53
It's in
Tango.
display settings. Airports, yes. Bye. No, that's the wrong one. Display. It's part of the Pine Devco scenery. It's runways. Apply, Bink. Easy 6626. Thank you. Taxi to hold point Alpha 1, runway 27 via Charlie, Romeo, and Alpha.
Taxi to holding Alpha 1 for runway 27.
Matthew, it depends.
Romeo Alpha, easy 6626.
So I've always been told to mention the runway as part of the clearance, and that's how I got taught when I was starting my controller training 3 and a bit years ago. But you know, things have changed. You just get into habits and stuff. Gav, good evening, mate. You've got a text pilot there as well. Eurowings 2008. So just do a bit of work with him. He's been cleared to Alpha 1, so let's just mop that up. He's on taxi, so move him. And we've got Atis. Peter, welcome. Last station calling, was that Speedbird 289er? Speedbird 289er, stand 17, push and start approved, QNH 1010.
Push and start approved, QNH 1010.
Squawk 477.
And can you give us the preferred way to push, like
Speedbird 289, your readability 3, very, very quiet. You asking for the departure, the SID?
Direction of pushback, Speedbird 289.
Oh. You're in the cul-de-sac, so there's only one way to face. It'll be facing east.
Oh, sorry. Speedbird 289.
No worries at all. I think the text pilot might be a new pilot. He's got a different QNH, or a different. He's saying he's got information Charlie, which isn't obviously not correct. So easy 6626. No further ATC. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a good flight.
Have a good day. Easy 6226 going in. Bye bye.
See ya. Chris, yeah, if DCS had got better scenery, you would play more, but then you end up not really paying much attention to the scenery itself. Alex says, hello to you, matey, saying, loving the stream, good to see it from the other side. If it wasn't working, it'd be flying. Glad to hear, still enjoying DCS, and he's loving the Phantom as well. And yeah, Lenara's saying there, since we're giving clearances for departures, I'm basically doing the job of the tower controller as well. I'm doing the job of clearance delivery, technically, and ground, but obviously I can't clear anything to land or take off, which is silly, really, because there's not really much else for tower beyond kind of routing in for final or dealing with go-arounds and that kind of stuff. I don't think it's a mega difference on top of what we can already do as a ground controller, so it's a little bit arbitrary. Trivial Sports, Easy6626, have a good flight, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Hello to you. And Roy, good afternoon. Enjoying the fact we're on the other side today as well. We've got SGW1108, Ray's coming in. Birdman, welcome. This is an X-Valley Hawk instructor. Tim Davies flew the Hawk and around the Mac Loop yesterday on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Nice. Paul says he struggles with the learning curve on DCS. The F-18 is no 737. It's such a steep learning curve, isn't it, in comparison? But when you start to finally work your way through various different bits and you start to have it click, it's actually really quite rewarding. How you doing, Gav? Hope you're well. Good evening to you. Yeah, the learning curve on DCS is so steep. LJC says, thing is, he aspires to become a C1, and it is possible, but after a very long road ahead, he says. They say VATSIM ATC is not a job, and it's voluntary, but sometimes you do feel like it's a whole other job. Yeah, and they demand a lot for you, actually, from you. What have we got? Eurowings 2008 on text, ready for push start, taxi at discretion. Well, you can't taxi at your own discretion. Roy says, am I only allowed to do East Midlands? I'm only allowed to do ground, not tower. So I can do ground and delivery, which is what I'm trained at as an S1. And that then allows me to kind of do streams like this. But I can't be a tower controller, which is frustrating. And if I wanted to be, with VATSIM UK, I'm not even joking, it would likely take around a year and a half, maybe 2 years to actually achieve. Which is pointless. As Gav's saying, Night Shepherd, for example, he was on the queue in Australia for VATSIM training, I think about 3 months, maybe 6 months. And already he's controlling tower and various things like that. So it shows you how different the progression levels are in various different parts of the world. He's on pushback, 289's on pushback as well. LJC almost. I can't do military. And there's a few others. Jay says, get to see the other side of things today as well. Yeah, absolutely. And Paul says at his airport there's no ground. You go delivery straight to tower. Robert Welcome says, talking of Boeings, he's very intrigued to see what PMDG's secret project is going to be when they announce it this weekend. Heavy Rat, so they're all based at the airport, with the exception of London City, which is now a remote tower. It's basically a big scaffolding pole with 360-degree cameras mounted on the building. And that is putting a live feed to oh god, what is it called? I'm Trying to think what it's called. The Nats place down in the south coast. Swanwick. Thanks, Ray. So yeah, London City Airport is a remote tower, and it's now controlled at Swanwick. Norris, yeah, so I've learnt today that VATSIM Germany has had a complete restructure and it's requiring most of their controllers to retrain. John 53 Tango stands 76, push start approved, face east, QNH 1010.
Face east, John 53 Tango. Speedbird 289 requesting taxi.
Speedbird 289, taxi to hold point Alpha 1 runway 27 via Charlie Alpha, Quebec and Alpha.
Taxi to holding point Alpha 1 runway 27 via Charlie Alpha, Quebec and Alpha. Speedbird 289.
There you go. Lunara saying there, not sure if they all need retraining, but possibly people who were around the S1 training for 2 months already have to restart from zero. They've basically done a complete restructure of all of their rating system, David. From a conversation I was having about 30 minutes before the stream started, I got asked about if I'd heard about the VATSIM Germany changes. And yeah, they've put a whole lot of new stuff in place, requiring a whole lot of reaccreditation for a lot of their controllers. And probably quite frustrating for them, really. They're always pretty good controllers, actually. The more the merrier, welcome. Branch, he says it took him 10 months to get his S1 training, which is ground and delivery, but only then about a month for S2. He got lucky though. Sweden did a huge push for S1 followed by S2 push. That's pretty good. That's what you want, because you're all putting the effort in. Crikey, how fast is the Speedbird going? Speedbird 289, I just caution the Eurowings pulling out the central apron. He's on text only.
Roger,
We'll see smoke coming out of his tyre. I thought there was going to be a collision then. And David saying there, the Vancouver area, VATSIM Canada have some weird bits. Vancouver became tier 2, so an endorsement that never existed before, and it's got some people stuck on tower there waiting for OTS. And Speedbird 289, no further ATC. You're number 2 in the queue for departure. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a good flight.
Monitor Unicom 122.8. Thanks.
See ya.
Bye bye.
So Eurowings on dink, off he goes. Roy, no, I haven't. I don't. I think the sim looks great as it is, and I don't really feel the need to add extra special effects. But that's just my personal thoughts. I'd rather spend the money on other things. Trivial Sports, good question. I'm not sure the answer to that, actually. He says there, do you think the new CTAF system that's being tested in the US, for which I'm a big fan of, actually, and I've done a video covering some of the rules and things for that, but yeah, really impressive CTAF stuff. I really like it. I don't know if we would have it in the UK. Giant 53 Tango, taxi to hold point Alpha 1 runway 27 via Delta Victor and Alpha.
Alpha 1 via Delta Victor and Alpha with Giant 53 Tango.
Yeah, there's a Unicom frequency, or safety com as Ray has mentioned, but I would like to see. Yeah, I would like to see it as a CTAF in the UK, because there's no different to you then tuning into, like, you know, if I'm flying into East Midlands now, for example, and there is no tower controller online, I can tune into 124.005, which would be East Midlands CTAF frequency for arrivals and departures, and it would mean that when a controller does come online, they could just go, yeah, I'm online now on the channel, and all of a sudden we've got tower and we're already on the right frequency. So personally, I would like to see a version of CTAF implemented in the UK as well, but again, it would need a whole retraining of people on VATSIM. But I think it's going pretty well, I believe, at least I think it is, the CTAF trial. I think it's great. Zata there saying he actually likes the CTAF system in VAT USA as well. Good stuff. Me too. And Bernie's about to log on as Easy45 Papa Charlie. Good. I'll look forward to seeing you. Zato's had a juicy landing into Gatwick, bouncing with a sudden wind shear, landing 26 left in the Phoenix A320. Yeah, CTAF doesn't exist in the UK. It's Australia, the United States of America. I can't remember if it's somewhere else either. But the theme of it, I mean, Ray. So, you know, using the tower frequency as a common frequency for each airfield, rather than all doing it on Unicom. I like the idea of that, personally. Lewis, welcome. How you doing, mate? Ooh, data link. Eurowings has hit the zoom button. So the thing on the top right of the blue, that's somebody actually trying to get ACARS clearance, which is really quite cool. So I'll click the button. It's an MD82 as well, very snazzy. I'll check a few little bits. Looks pretty good. And then I've accepted it. Can we see him as an MD? Oh, it's a CRJ. Then Leonardo Mad Dog never appears as the correct model matching. Yeah, I've got it's basically another pop-up screen that you guys can't see, because the way the streaming software works is it doesn't quite show the pop-up for the thing that blinked blue a minute ago. It's like another little screen that pops up with a list of the route, the QNH, the ATIS information, the stand number, all of the stuff that you want to provide during a clearance request.
Giant 53 Tango holding Alpha 1.
Giant 53 Tango, apologies. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Thanks for flying. See ya.
122.8.
David says, you know you can auto-approve them in V-strips. No. How do I do that? Bottom right, 3 grey boxes. Oh yeah, Daventry, Pole, Trent. If I click that,
Ground, DC45 Papa Charlie, request radio check.
an all auto. Yeah, let's do that. Easy 45 Papa Charlie, East Midlands Ground, your readability 5.
Availability 5, ET45 Papa Charlie, thanks.
Loster says, great stream, I do have a question. What advice would you give to new VATSIM pilots to help overcome the fear of pressing the mic button? It's a very good question, and it gets asked all the time. Have a look at the playlist section of this channel, and hopefully, basically there's a VATSIM tutorials playlist that I've done, and hopefully it'll give you a whole lot of information and get you started quite confidently. And one of the things you've got to remember is you're not going to know absolutely everything. So effectively, get to a point in time where you think your knowledge is good enough, and when it is, jump on in. And I know what you mean about the fear of pressing the mic button, because I had that as well quite considerably. But just have faith that we've all been in that same situation, so nobody can criticise you if you make a little bit of a mistake, but you've clearly prepared. As Patrick's saying, have a pen and paper handy so that you can write everything down. I like to start. Hello Trigo, thanks for subscribing. I like to start every flight with my notepad next to me, and I'll put on there the call sign that I'm using. So in this case, Tomjet 7 Hotel Echo. I'll put the stand number I'm parking at, and then on the right hand side of my page I'll write ATIS, QNH, Squawk, Cruise, Cost Index. So the cruise and the cost index I will know because I've set them in my flight plan. But then when I get my clearance for a flight and I get told my Squawk code, I can get the ATIS number and I can write down the correct ATIS on my notepad. I can write down the QNH, and then all I need to do is pop down the Squawk. And what I'll also do below my call sign is I'll write the runway that I'm using and the standard instrument departure that I'm using as well. With the initial climb. So all of the information the controller would give me, I've already written down, except for the Squawk code. So it takes a lot of pressure away from you for transmitting. Zarto's prepping for the return leg. Very exciting. Oh, Lunaris, it's really daunting.
Midlands Ground, EG45 Papa Charlie, Airbus A320 Neo at stand 11, requesting IFR clearance through to Schiphol. With information mic on board, QNH 1011.
Easy 45 Papa Charlie, cleared to Amsterdam via the Daventry 3 November departure. Initial climb flight level 900, runway 27's in use. And QNH 1010, Squawk 3372. I've given that all a little bit higgledy-piggledy, sorry.
With Amsterdam, runway 27, Daventry 3 November departure. Up to 9,000, squawking 3372, Easy 45 Papa Charlie.
Easy 45 Papa Charlie, East Midlands Ground, readback correct, report ready for push.
Wilco, Easy 45 Papa Charlie.
What also helps for new people flying on VATSIM, certainly to overcome that push to talk fear, is pick a small airport. Edinburgh's very good. East Midlands is a good one as well, because there's only 2 departures and 2 arrival routes. So you're very little for you to get wrong. Aaron, nice. There he is in the Osprey MD82, looking swish in our retro jet. It's an aeroplane I've not flown for a while. You're always in the Mad Dog, Aaron. You're loving it. Trivial Sources as a video recommendation to add onto your cross-Atlantic tutorials. Could you add a section or video on what SELCAL codes are? It's basically a 4-letter code which identifies your aeroplane. So for the cross the pond stuff, when you ask for a SELCAL check, it will ping over to you and then you'll hear some beeps. Very difficult to replicate though in a tutorial, because you need all of the controllers to be online at the right time, and that never happens. Garen says, did you know the Airbus A320 has 152 computers? I did not. Edinburgh is the best, I think, for certainly if you're familiar with flying around the UK in flight sim. Edinburgh is my biggest recommendation for new pilots on VATSIM, because you've got only a few departure routings, so you can't really go wrong with the departure. And the best route, somebody suggested it yesterday, it was Ian, and I actually really like this as a route suggestion. Edinburgh to Bergen. Really, 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 really nice suggestion for a first flight on VATSIM, because you've got 2 very simple airports with 1 runway, just a couple of departures and a couple of arrivals to pick, so it's very difficult for you to get that wrong as well. And Edinburgh tends to have some very patient, newer controllers, and you'll get the same in Bergen as well. You get VATSIM Scandinavia, that they're all fantastic, really friendly guys. So you can't really go wrong with that route option actually. And as David's saying, quite often has air traffic control on both ends as well. So you start off with air traffic control potentially on both sides. Quite a good idea, I think. So that would be my most suggested route. In fact, I'm going to set it up as an Osprey Airways route out of Edinburgh, because I don't think we've done that. EGPH. So what have we got? We've got Manchester to Edinburgh and back, Gatwick, Heathrow, Birmingham, Bristol, Luton, Amsterdam, Keflavik, Innsbruck, Naples, Dublin, Palma de Mallorca, Roma Fiumicino, and Santorini. So that's 708. So Osprey 709 Bravo. Probably about 2 hours long, isn't it, as a block? Let's turn those off. They're all fine. Probably not the 787s. Or the A330-900. 787-8 actually, we can allow that. Why not? A couple of heavy stands. Okay, so large. Bit of a selection there. 709 Alpha. Seven and 9 Bravo. Okie dokie. So Osprey 7 and 9 Alpha and Bravo are the rotations in and out of Edinburgh to Bergen and back for that ideal first VATSIM flight. If any of you in our virtual airline want to take part in that, that's all done. I've put a 2-hour block time on just to give you a bit more time taxiing around and things. So Patrick there also saying Edinburgh to Bergen would be a perfect first flight on VATSIM. Patrick's first flight was Luton to Newcastle. Most important thing is, of course, start with small, simple airports. 100%. Ray says Cap 413 is your friend. You can find it on the CIA's website. Yeah, I think certainly for new VATSIM pilots, that becomes quite daunting. Yeah, I've read through Cap 413, various elements of, and yeah, it's a bit of a headache. I think that's enough to potentially put some new people off. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend it until you're at a point where you want to learn even more, and that will dig deep into phraseology and a whole load of other things. But you can pick it up from watching these sort of streams or looking through my tutorials and things as well. And I've got a couple of PDF documents that I've created that are really simple to use, and it just helps you maybe get started with a little bit of confidence with a PDF that's right there next to you that you can print. It sounded like somebody was calling. It's a VFR departure. Oh, jumping neck. Oh, Wesley. Virgin Nana 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 Nana. Lucas says, how would you deal with an outdated AirAC in the FMC on VATSIM? Can the controllers clear for old SIDs or stars, or do you have to punch in the recent ones into the FMS manually? So as David's saying there, if you can't fly the SID because it's changed and you're on an older AirAC, that's fine. You should be able to get a non-standard radar vectored departure instead. What I would suggest though is when you're filing your flight plan on VATSIM, and there's a bit at the bottom that says remarks, type in there the AirAC that you're using. So if you're using, for example, AirAC 2304, type in there in the remarks page AirAC 2304, so that they can see when they're giving you the clearance you're using an older AirAC, and therefore you might not have the right departures on your FMS. And, you know, they'll try and work with you. Of course they should.
East Midlands Ground, this is Golf Hotel Alpha Lima Lima.
Golf Hotel Alpha Lima Lima, East Midlands Ground, good afternoon, pass message.
Golf Hotel Alpha Lima Lima is a PA28 at stand 101, requesting VFR circuits with information November on a QNH 1010.
See, I can't actually give clearance. Golf Lima Lima, startup's approved, QNH 1010, and it'll be a right-hand circuit, 1,000 feet, runway 27 in use.
Start approved, QNH 1010, right-hand circuits, 1,000 feet. Runway 27 in use, Golf Lima Lima.
Readback correct, report ready for taxi.
We'll code Golf Lima Lima.
Meh, I'll just give him a clearance. So VFR on my V-strips is...
Charlie, stand 1-1, request push air start.
Easy 4-5, Papa Charlie, stand 1-1, push start approved, face east.
Push start approved, facing east for easy 4-5, Papa Charlie.
I hate VFR. I'm so bad at it.
And Golf Lima Lima is ready for taxi.
Golf Lima Lima, Roger, are you able Sierra 1 for takeoff?
Hey firm, Golf Lima Lima.
Awesome. Taxi to hold point Sierra 1, runway 27 via Bravo and Alpha.
01 for runway 27 via Bravo and Alpha, Golf Lima Lima.
So I've given him like halfway down. Yeah, so if it was VFR departures, they've changed the rules a little bit now, so I can do clearance for VFR departures. So at East Midlands, for example, to the north, you've got the standard VFR routes going out through Long Eaton, which is, you've got to keep east of the M1 motorway, and then if you're going south towards, I don't know, Dover, for example, to fly around the White Cliffs of Dover and then back, then you'd be cleared to go not above altitude 2,000 feet VFR, and you'd be cleared through the Shepstead Lane routing. So I can clear one of those two routes. I can't really clear circuits. All I could realistically do for the PA28 really is just start a approved report ready for taxi.
Hello, on East Apron, requesting IFR clearance to Campbelltown, Macrahany.
Virgin 9999, East Midlands Ground. Hello, you're cleared to your destination via the Trent 2 November departure. Runway 27 is in use. Initial altitude 6,000 feet. Squawk 2512.
Cleared to whatever that is, Trent 2 November departure, runway 27, initial climb 6,000, squawk 2512, Virgin 999.
Virgin 99999, feedback's correct. Or ready for push.
Virgin 999, we're ready for push.
Roger, Virgin 999, your push starts approved. Face east.
Approved, face east, Virgin 999.
Roger, roger.
Linaris, so my job is to check everybody's routes and sequence all of the ground flow. So everything not on the runway as a ground controller is my responsibility. And Golf Lima Lima, no further ATC, monitor Unicom 122.8. See ya.
122.8, thanks for your help, Golf Lima Lima.
Campbelltown, Macraranish. Oh, no idea. I wasn't even going to try and work out what that was when I saw the ICAO code.
East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. Polar 5174 with November. Tigers 748 at stand 109. Request IFR to Shanghai.
Ooh, that's a long one. Polar 5174 East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. Clear to Shanghai, runway 27 by the Daventry 3 November departure. Initial altitude, flight level 900, squawk 5662.
So to Shanghai, via Daventry 3 November, runway 27. Initial climb 900, squawk 5662, Polar 5174.
Polar 5174, readback correct, QNH 1010, report ready for push.
We'll report ready for push, QNH 1010, Polar 5174.
Awesome.
Easy 45 Papa Charlie, request taxi.
Easy 45 Papa Charlie, taxi to hold point Alpha 1, runway 27, via the central apron and Alpha.
Taxi holding point Alpha 1, runway 27, via central apron and Alpha, Easy 45 Papa Charlie.
Ground, good afternoon, Osprey 121, stand 15, request push and start.
Osprey 121, stand 15, push start approved, face east.
Push start approved, face east, Osprey 121.
Good little
Virgin
flow.
999 requesting taxi, runway 27.
Virgin 999, taxi to hold point Alpha 1, runway 27, via Delta, Victor and Alpha. I could
Delta,
hold
Victor,
him.
Alpha 1, Virgin 999.
So technically, Easy 45 Papa Charlie's got right of way, because he's the first cleared, so realistically I'm supposed to hold Wesley there at Victor. But there's no benefit, because if he can taxi there, turn right and there, and then right again, there's actually no delay. But it depends how quickly he gets there. Otherwise, I mean, it's something I'd have to monitor. Otherwise, I would have to tell Virgin 999 to hold position, potentially. The little PA-28's off doing control circuits on Unicom. Ashton. An hour and a half. 4 o'clock we'll be logging off today. UK time, so 1500 Zulu. Virgin 9999 and no further ATC, monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a good flight.
Unicom, Virgin 9999, have fun, bye.
See ya. Yeah, that's another option. Could do a conditional taxi. But I thought separation-wise, there's no need. They're so far away. Should be okay. China on VATSIM with meters and things is a bit of a headache. I tend to avoid it. An easy 45 Papa Charlie. You're number 2 for departure. No further ATC. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a good flight.
Number 2 for departure and monitor Unicom 122.8. Easy 45 Papa Charlie. Thanks, Luke.
See you, mate. Lovely jubbly. Yeah, somebody saying about issues with the Bing textures and all that sort of stuff. There's a tweet, I think, that Microsoft Flight Simulator have put out about 2 hours ago saying there's a big old server problem yet again, and people have got issues therefore, so they're trying to fix it apparently. There goes Wesley and his Virgin A350-900. Wow, it's a high rate of climb. It's a very short takeoff as well. So I'm keeping an eye on where this PA-28 is on the radar. It's kind of further up, so I can see where he is roughly. So he's going to do some circuits, and eventually he's going to taxi back in. And actually, she should go to the GA apron. MPS, hello mate. Yes, it is an Osprey Mad Dog. Yes, the general aviation parking at East Midlands is down here at Mike. These little hangars down here. So when he vacates at Mike, he'll just go straight across into the little GA hangars, and that's the that's usually where the GA folks should park. Aaron, I've noticed that today as well. You've probably all seen it on the TowerView. You've seen the stutters. And actually somebody else mentioned today Microsoft Flight Simulator has been lagging quite a bit. Very weird. Maybe it's the server issues with Bing.
Ryanair 78 Yankee Juliet, stand 9, permission November, time 738 AFR please, to Carcassonne.
Ryanair 78 Yankee Juliet, East Midlands Ground, hello. Clear to Carcassonne via the Daventry 3 November departure, initial altitude, flight level 90, squawk 0252.
Ryanair 78 Yankee Juliet, clear to Carcassonne, Daventry 3 November, squawk 0252 and climb 9000.
Ryanair 78 Yankee Juliet, read back correct, QNH 1009, report ready for push.
Roger.
was about to say there's a PA-28 somewhere. I can just see this tiny little aeroplane there.
Ground, Polo 5174, stand 109, transmission start.
Polo 5174, stand 109, push start approved, face east.
Push start approved, face east, Polo 5174.
Steve, interesting, his controller keybinds have been wiped out as well. Badger's getting stutters for him. Ah, so controller keybinds wiped out. I wonder if that's the issues that I've been having with the yoke yesterday, where MSFS kept changing my yoke stuff. Zato says, let me give you a clue as to what he's flying. Are you in the Vulcan?
Osprey 121, ready for taxi.
Osprey 121, taxi to hold point Alpha 1, runway 27 via Charlie Alpha, Quebec and Alpha.
That's Alpha 1 to runway 27 via Charlie Alpha, Quebec and Alpha, Osprey 121.
There is, I can see Osprey 74 Echo flying in, but with no flight plan apparently. Although, if he's about to land, that doesn't matter anymore. Timejet 79 Charlie to Dubrovnik, cream cheese, nice. Ah, that was just before I logged on. You were speaking with Will at that point, I think. Just before the handover. But I remember seeing your call sign there. How was your flight to Dubrovnik? That mighty mad dog down there. Awesome aeroplane. He's taxiing to Alpha 1 actually, so let's get him shifted across to the new tab. Keep everything in date. Big old crosswind. 180 at 13. Ray saying his performance on MSFS recently has been worse by about 10 frames per second. That's not good at all. I know there's been a new NVIDIA driver update, so I wonder if that's half of the issue. I don't know. But usually when the weather servers or the data servers from Azure/Microsoft are being problematic, it wreaks absolute havoc in the sim, doesn't it? Ooh. Boot the old headset. PA-28 on final again. Manchester's busy. Always is. I was going to tune in and do Manchester today, but thought otherwise. Yardi, welcome. Zato, you're going to have to give us a like a early warning to say when you're going to fly in. Because I can't see I can see the arrivals, just got the PA-28, and that is it. And he's buzzing around quite merrily doing some rather nice touch and goes. Yeah, definitely some sim stutters today. Yeah, off he goes. Yeah, Dwell, a bit weird, isn't it? I think the servers are definitely being weird today. Roy says, are there any news about Mako Sims Manchester? Nothing yet, mate. Hopefully, hopefully we'll find out soon, but I know he's working quite hard at all of that sort of stuff anyway. Creating a version 2, so I know there is one coming. Osprey 121, no further ATC, monitor Unicom 122.8, have a good flight.
Over Unicom 122.8, thanks. Osprey 121.
Yeah. Polar's still waiting to go. Aaron's tried to turn his data off. Osprey 74 Echoes inbound. This is our first arrival. He's at 6 miles. Roy, yeah, Thai models, Manchester. It's very poor quality. I wouldn't recommend it. My suggestion would be to just wait.
Ground, Polar 517 forward, tax.
Polar 5174, taxi to hold point Alpha 1, runway 27, via Bravo and Alpha.
Bravo and Alpha to Alpha 1427, Polar 5174.
I do like an arrival. Technically, because he's got no flight plan, it hasn't actually appeared on my arrivals list. We can see his lights just on the top right of the screen. Yes, please, AJ Fanani. Touchdown. Looks like an ATR. Can't see what it is. Yeah, an ATR. Nice.
Ready for push and start, wearing a 78 Yankee Juliet, stand 9.
Right, a 78 Yankee Juliet, stand 9, push start approved, face east.
Pushing back facing east, wearing a 78 Yankee Juliet.
So where am we going to put him? He's got no flight plan. And all stations East Midlands Ground, new QNH 1009er. Osprey 27 Alpha. It's coming in now as well from Newcastle, lovely. I can't force him in. I don't know how to grab him. Assume. I don't know. Oh, he's in the Vulcan. You guys are going to see a fly past. Low and smoky, Zato. Low and smoky. Just me.
East Midlands Ground. Osprey 74 Echo on Sierra 2. Request taxi to maintenance, apron north.
Osprey 74 Echo, East Midlands Ground. Good afternoon. Hold your position, I'll call you back. Break, Polar 5172, 74. Hold at Alpha 7, please. I'll get you out of the way shortly.
Hold Alpha 7, Polar 5174.
Thank you. And Osprey 74 Echo, taxi to the Central Apron North via Alpha.
Taxi via Alpha to maintenance area north. Osprey 74 Echo.
Trying to think where maintenance area north is. Maintenance area north, yeah, Alpha and Mike. Good work, Ray. Polar 5174, give way to the Osprey Airways aircraft on Alpha in front, so he'll be turning into Mike. When clear, continue your taxi to Alpha 1.
Give way to the Osprey traffic. Once clear, continue hold Alpha 1, Polar 5174.
Arduano, so the Polar, he's there, he's holding position. Zartos somewhere. Microsoft has a Bing data problem, which I'm sure is then also causing a stutter problem. Badger's going to try and roll his NVIDIA drivers backwards to see if it stops the stutters for him. Are you on VATSIM, Zato? Because I can't see you anywhere. Oh, the little P28's off. Yeah, I think it's more of a data issue or an MSFS problem than it is a NVIDIA driver issue.
Ground, hello again, this is Golf Hotel Alpha Lima Lima with you at Hotel.
Golf Hotel Alpha Lima Lima, East Midlands Ground. Hello again, taxi to the General Aviation parking via Alpha and Mike.
Taxi to GA via Alpha and Mike, Golf Lima Lima.
Osprey 27 Alpha's on his way in.
Ready for taxi via 7 Yankee Juliet.
Right, 78 Yankee Juliet, give way to the Polar 747-8 on Alpha and taxi to hold point Alpha 1, runway 27 via the Central Apron and Alpha.
Give way to the 747 taxi via Apron and Alpha to Alpha 1, runway 27 via 7 Yankee Juliet.
East Midlands Ground, Osprey 74 Echo, we are on stand, and thank you for the ATC. Have a great day.
You too, thanks for flying. Bowler 5174, no further ATC, monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a good day.
Unicom now for Bowler 5174, bye-bye.
Lunaris, no, not really. So this is where VATSIM is really quite restrictive on, well, the UK VFR rules actually, not VATSIM, because they replicate real rules. It's the rules in the UK, it's actually really quite restrictive. So in the States, you could probably connect to go, I just want to go VFR to the south. You could ask for VFR to the south here at East Midlands, but what you would then also need to be able to respect is, I haven't really got any way to show it you. You'd have to be able to respect all of the airspace around, which makes it quite tricky. But also at East Midlands, there are, if you were going to go south, you would have to also know how to respect the Shepsford Lane departure, which would require you to take off and then turn south, but remain west of the M1 motorway as well. So it's all these little extra things you've got to kind of bear in mind. So you'd have to fly not above 2,000 feet, and all that sort of stuff as well. So it gets a bit tricky.
And Golf Lima Lima is shutting down on the GA apron. Thanks for your help.
Cheers, have a good day. Jason, welcome. Say hello to your boss. Get him subscribed, and then I'm sure you'll have you can sit down with him and watch. Get your boss on side, and then it won't be a problem. Ryanair 78 Yankee Juliet, you're number 2 for departure. No further ATC. Monitor Unicom 122.8. See ya.
Unicom goodbye, Ryanair 78 Yankee Juliet.
It's alright. Darius, not really, because I think at that, yeah, you're better off just being on the list and trying to actually just get some mental sessions put in. It's easier that way. Wesley says 2,500 to 3,000 feet. Best VFR altitudes in the UK? Not necessarily. In the south, yeah, there is some airspace restrictions down to surface level. Some of them 1,000, 1,500 feet. I remember when I was flying out of Denham, again to use that as an example, there was an altitude restriction not above 1,000 feet, and then it moved a little bit to 1,500, then it moved to 2,000, then it moved to 3,000. But if I turned right, I would get in the way of Luton airspace, which would cause me a problem. Then I'd have to be below 2,500, and if I was then turning northwesterly, then it would be going up to 3,500. So it was really convoluted and actually quite difficult to get your head around, which is why I just don't bother with VFR on VATSIM. Jason, yeah, this will be available to view on demand after the live stream. Osprey 27 Alpha's on final. Yeah, if you want to go VFR, as Wesley's saying, you can go to anywhere in the States and you can kind of just log in, request VFR to the south or VFR to the north, and then away you go. It's a lot more relaxed. Yeah, there you go. As FPT is saying, the London TMA itself comes down to 2,500 all over the southeast, and you can easily bust the airspace if you're not on the ball. It's really tricky to get your head around, and for that you need, like, I've got here the Pooley's actual VFR chart book, and there's hundreds of pages of charts, and then I've also got big paper charts which you have to buy from the CAA as well, or from Pooley's or Flight Store. An actual big proper chart that I used to use when I was flying the PA-28s, when I was trying to get my PPL, and you need all of that for VFR really. in the UK on VATSIM. IFR is a lot simpler. It's a lot more, because everything's set in quite a restrictive way, it's actually more relaxing. Osprey 27 Alpha, 3 mile, final. And his A320 Neo, nice. Just over the threshold now, in the haze. Andy, this is Pyre Devco's East Midlands scenery. It's linked in the description for today's live stream. I'll pop it in the live chat as a...
East Midlands Ground, a very good afternoon to you. It's the EG632 on stand 14 requesting a radio check.
Easy 632 East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. Your readability 5.
55 EG632, thanks very much.
Badger, no worries. Are you flying? Do it. Lunaris, you can do IFR in, you know, like a TBM or a PC-12, that kind of thing. But you would need to be able to respect the departure routings as well. That's the only other caveat.
East Midlands Ground, good day. Osprey 27 Alpha, we're on mic.
Osprey 27 Alpha, East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. You've got stand 16 today, so taxi left, Mike, onto Alpha, and then into the central apron.
Stand 16, Mike Alpha, central apron, many thanks. And this sim is really starting bad today, so we're getting 3 seconds stutters.
Yeah, everybody's having problems today. It's not great. Servers are having a real issue. Ryanaire's off. Zato's almost here.
Ground EG632, stand 14 on the type Airbus A320 Neo. I've got information November on board with a QNH of 1010, requesting IFR clearance to Edinburgh.
Easy 632 East Midlands Ground, hello. Cleared to Edinburgh via the Trent 2 November departure, runway 27. Initial climb altitude 6,000 feet, squawk 4770. Yeah, you can. VFR in Scotland's fine.
On the Trent 2 November departure, runway 27. Initial climb to 6,000 feet, squawk 4770, Easy 632, thanks for that.
And stand 40 to 45 as well, actually. Stand 22 could be used for passenger ops. Easy 632, readback correct. QNH 1009er, report ready for push.
QNH 1009er will report when ready for push. Easy 632, thanks for that.
He's cleared. Dario says his sims crashed at 7,000 feet after departure today. Microsoft Flight Simulator having a real problem today. I mean, look at the stutters we've had. And we've not gone anywhere, we're just on TowerView. But people are getting stutters every 3 seconds in msfs at the moment, and that is terrible. Get yourselves on DCS, folks. You'll have a whale of a time. I've been absolutely loving DCS. It's ruddy brilliant. It's such a thrill. Chris is saying he's had 2-second freezes every minute or so. Not good. Exec. Oh, here we go. The Vulcan's inbound. He's appeared on the V-strips, folks. Alex says, am I going to do any DCS tutorials? What sort of tutorials would you like to see for DCS? Bearing in mind I'm getting my head around a lot of it anyway. That's a good shout actually. If you've got a backup weather system like Rex or something, then yeah, it might be best to turn off your online stuff with MSFS and then feed the weather in using Rex weather or something instead. It's not a bad shout. What's SGW as a call sign? Press the go button, Wesley, and send it. Lunara says, I don't know, I've checked on a little nav map and it says below flight level 100 there is no clearance needed for VFR. In the UK that's definitely incorrect. Definitely incorrect. From somebody who's been... I went through... I've stopped flying, I haven't flown for a little while, but I was doing my PPL with the nav and the VFR training. You absolutely need... oh, you're talking about Germany, fair enough. You didn't say that. Until after. Stockwood, cheers mate.
Ground Osprey, T7 off list. I see someone on 16. Can we take 15?
Yeah, firm. Yeah, it might be a static. Yeah, stand 15.
Oh yeah, could be, yeah, sorry. Yeah, 15, thanks.
Yeah, those of you with DCS, it's a good question actually, because it will help me decide what to fly on next on a multiplayer server on a live stream in the future. Let us know what maps you use in DCS. Pop them in the live chat. So I've got Kola, Marianas, Persia, Syria, and obviously Caucasus. I should have known that, Ray. Stockwood. Vulcan, baby. Ian, good afternoon, mate. How are you? Chris, that's the Nevada one, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, technically, if you're oh, here he comes. Oh, it's a bad time for a stutter. Zoom, zoom! What the noise? Oh, yeah. Spectacular. And the Sims froze again. Oh, we might have overcooked that turn. Oh, God. Oh, no. I think he saved it. Oh, what a beautiful aeroplane. They need that in DCS. Roddy lovely, that is. Where's the... There we go, that's the... yeah, that's the view, wasn't it, that we had a minute ago? But yeah, Vulcan's such an awesome aeroplane. I think most people tend to have Persian Gulf or Syria, David, out of all of them, but I know the Afghanistan map's coming out soon for DCS. That's going to be spectacular. Jay, yeah, it has actually got the Vulcan HAL. The add-on has got it from Just Flight. They've put it in there, and it is a wonderful roar. Really powerful roar. But we obviously didn't hear it just then. Bit better. Sort the view out a bit. Jay's got all the maps for DCS. Wow, that's expensive. I'm going to give Zato stand 30. I think that's a heavy stand. One of the few. The good people of the Midlands will not like that Vulcan at 1,000 foot overhead, Chris says. I would absolutely love it. I had a C-17 roar over my head the other day. And even the missus got excited. And when we get the Chinooks come over quite a lot, that's pretty cool. And yes, we of the Midlands are good people. I'm from the Midlands myself, don't forget. Although most of you probably don't know that. 1 hour to go before my slot booking expires. And Zato's inbound 4-mile final. Aaron's saying he's excited for the Fokker 70 and a Fokker 100 from Just Flight and the Avro RJ as well. They can't be too far away now, he says. Hopefully not too far away, no. There's the Vulcan. Just underneath the tip ticker. AJ Fanani, good question. You just try and deal with it as best as you can, really. He's got all his lights on now. Yeah, my sim's locking up every like 10 seconds. Oh, beautiful machine. I don't know where to put him. I want it to be close. Well, he would have used it, but it just won't render in on AI. In fact, he's used pretty much the whole runway. At this point, he's probably scratching around working out how to get the frequency changed. AJ Fanani says, can't wait for the Just Flight A300 B4 variant.
And ground, hello, X-ray Hotel 558 vacated 27 at hotel.
X-ray Hotel 558 East Midlands Ground. Good afternoon. Taxi for TM Medals stands 30 if that's best left on Alpha, and then into the central apron.
Roger, stand 30 Alpha and then some central apron. X-ray Hotel 558.
Pip pip.
Hip hip hooray.
TM Medals was an old World War II quote that I remember from years ago when I was flying in the Air Cadets as a flying instructor. It was always back for TM Medals, back home for TM Medals, all that sort of thing. And I think it is from World War II. They used to fly off and do a mission, like, you know, they'd go over, bomb Germany, and then it'd be like, let's head back, let's go home for TM Medals. Darius, you can, providing you're VATSIM compliant. So, you know, Zato, for example, who's just flown in with the Vulcan, he's still been on Unicom and he's still done his comms on Unicom and he's still flown the pattern and flown a final approach and done it all kind of properly. So as long as you still can be VATSIM compliant with it, then that's fair, then you can. I used it in Blackadder when it was set in World War One, but I guess it works for both, Ian says. Oh, maybe it was a World War One thing, I don't know. And then it kind of carried on traditionally into World War Two, and then so on and so forth. The other thing to bear in mind, Darius, is so Zato in the Vulcan, he's used the registration of X-Ray Hotel 558. So the argument there is he's doing a ferry flight. He's not doing military ops, which you can't do on VATSIM, as Ray's pointing out in the live chat there. Mighty Vulcan, there she is.
Good day, X-Ray Golf Sierra 555, be radio check.
X-Ray Golf Sierra 555 East Midlands Ground, hello, readability 5. You do need a flight plan, yes.
East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. Stockwood 1108, Airbus A training down 22 with Oscar, I-5 Glasgow, please, QNH 1099.
Stockwood 1108, East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. Cleared to Glasgow via the Trent 2 November departure. Initial climb altitude 6,000 feet, squawk 1077.
Good Glasgow, Trent 2 November, squawk 1 correction 1007 for Stockwood 1108. Sorry, I've got your stream in the background, it's messing me up here.
Squawk 1077.
1077, sorry, Stockwood 1108.
That's alright. Your readability, now I'm getting myself confused. Your readback's correct. Report ready for push start. Two six. Where is it? EGP. Okay, well that's fine anyway. Zoda says when he flies military aircraft, he still follows all the VATSIM rules, files a flight plan, proper call sign, proper flying procedures. Yeah. Well, the little air show counts as well. That's the one dial. Yes. Precisely, AJ Fanani. It was just a go around. Got information Papa now. Winds 180 at 15 still. So it's a good old crosswind. Ray's got 4 frames per second. Yeah, I think we're all struggling with Microsoft Flight Simulator today. It's an absolute stutterfest, isn't it? Aaron says, can we have Newcastle to Heathrow on the Osprey scheduled service? I don't actually think we've got EGNT on there at all in general. Let's have a wee look. No, we don't have Newcastle at all as an airport. stand by. I'm just going to try and have a little look. 4-2. Small and mediums, that'll do. 343 Alpha. No. Three, 4, 5 Alpha. I'm just adding it now, Aaron. Hold on. Not the simplest procedure. Done. Do you want any others with Newcastle? Or just Heathrow? Zarta's going to remain connected to so we can see him in the Vulcan as a centrepiece of British aviation. Big thanks to everyone who's hit the like button so far today. Appreciate all of that. Thumbs up so far. Kevin, welcome. Ray, no, we don't have a base at Newquay. Our hubs are Heathrow, Manchester, Gatwick. And then we've got Birmingham, Bristol, Nottingham, Edinburgh, Stansted, Leeds, Luton.
Ground, it's EG632 stand 14, requesting push and start, please.
Belfast, and then a couple of other little ones as well. Easy 632, East Midlands Ground, stand 1314, push start approved, face east.
Push start approved and face east. Just for info, I'm having a little bit of issues with GSX at the moment, so I'm not sure what to expect here.
That's no worries at all. Just do what you can.
I appreciate it. EG632, mate.
Aviation lovers, welcome. What airlines is Osprey Airways partnered with? None. Although we try and follow the One World Alliance quite closely, so we replicate a lot of British Airways operations, but we also just a kind of a bit of a branch off from that. I've taken a couple of my favourite TUI, UK, EasyJet, and Thomson routes and Jet2 routes, and I've kind of put some of those into the scheduled network as well. Kevin says, where did you get the Mini FCU? I got it from Mini Cockpit, but even better and half the price, the WinWing FCU. So check out my video on that, Kevin, from about 2 hours ago. 2 months ago, roughly. Really worth checking out. It's literally half the price, and it's a 1-to-1 full-size replica as well. About 45 more minutes, Nimesh. Approximately. If it gets really, really busy and loads of people connect right towards the end, I'll stay online for a bit longer. Robert, yeah, we've got loads of cargo operations. East Midlands is a base, actually, as well. Is one of our bases in the UK on Osprey Airways. And it's one of our lead cargo hubs. Obviously, it's a massive cargo facility there on the radar scope, just behind our TowerView. Same with the big old Delta apron over there, the 70 stands. So a huge cargo hub here at East Midlands. Found us make some pretty good stuff. Yeah, Aaron, if you were to name, I don't know, 4 or 5 European hops, what would you like to see for Newcastle? It's a video, Kevin. The mini FCUs are short, but the WinWing FCU is a video. No worries, Aaron. Have a good day, mate. Ian, this is actually where a lot of our China Amazon crew actually lands here, precisely. I prefer, Ray, the Origami Studios Gatwick. Although it's been a very long time since I tried the MKVY freeware Gatwick, which is really, really good. I just found it become very poorly optimized. So I kind of switched off at that point and I stopped using it. That was a long time ago, actually. So long ago, in fact, it was on my old computer. Kevin, no worries. If you're building a home cockpit, then definitely check out that WinWing FCU video, because like I said, it's half the price, but it's a 1-to-1 full-size scale, and they're going to bring out the EFIS modules as well, so you could literally have a full-size 1-to-1 replica Airbus glare shield potentially in the near future. Yeah, Origami Studios unfortunately haven't really updated Gatwick very much. They made some promises to update it and work with it, but then it's just turned into a load of gumph, and they haven't, which is a shame, but it still works nicely. But perhaps I need to have a little look at the MKVY freeware one again. It's been a little while since I did. I think Origami Studios have kind of just abandoned their payware Gatwick now, unfortunately. Zato's waiting for a payware Dallas-Fort Worth, or a third-party Dallas-Fort Worth to MSFS. Me too, aviation lovers. Can't wait to see an Osprey Airways PMDG 777 there. No, yeah, me too. I'm really excited for that. Ian, no. He's still working on version 2, but it is still in progress. Zato, it's going to have to be something quite different to the one we've usually got, because I don't think the current old school Osprey retro livery is going to work with a big long 777-300ER. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want a retro 777. I'm not sure. Because it's such a big aeroplane. I don't know if it's going to look weird.
Ground, it's EG632 requesting taxi, please.
EG632, taxi to hold point Alpha 1, runway 27 via Charlie, Romeo and Alpha.
Taxiing the holding point Alpha 1, runway 27 via Charlie, Romeo and Alpha, EG632, thanks very much.
Yeah, we will get the Flyby A380 with an Osprey paint. Absolutely. Whenever it arrives. Bold underlined, whenever. That's taken a really long time to create as well. Mathis, welcome. Says good afternoon from his desk in the Netherlands. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Pending arrival from EDP at the moment as well, coming in. Oh, we've got two actually. And we've got a B line coming in. Or Jersey, sorry, Fly B. Nice. Had a good variety today. Nimesh, no idea when it's going to release. Really not sure. No, Wesley, it's a nice little flow, nice steady stream of traffic. It's actually quite nice for newer
1108, stand 22, request push and start.
newer people. Stockwood 1108, stand 22, push start approved, face east. QNH 1009er.
22, push start approved, face east, and QNH 1009, and Stockwood 1108.
Just move me strips about. It's been good actually for this because the other streams were so busy that I personally struggled with having to do delivery and ground, whereas this is allowing me to do delivery and ground as a combined ground frequency without being mega stressed. So it's a really nice relaxed kind of flow. Interesting, Zato. I look forward to it. Badger, I think we've got the A340-600 for X-Plane, but we don't have it in msfs or anything, which is why I'd probably say for that kind of thing you need to just do that as a free flight. Kevin, what did you pre-order, mate? The Winwing FCU? Very nice. Wesley, no worries. Easy 632, no further ATC, monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a good day.
Over to the dark side, 122.8, easy 632. Thanks very much indeed, and nice to speak to you, British Nick, and have a great day.
Cheers, you too, Tara. He's handed off. I feel like this is going to have to become like a once every 2 months kind of thing. Because it's nice to see loads of you guys watching and enjoying it, to be fair. And already we have had 1,103 views today, which is mega in total according to my stream vibe thingy, my stream checker. Oh, we've got so many airports on New Sky. 96 airports. I don't think we can only add 3 more. Ooh, that's gonna be that's tight. To Ian. Starbro, welcome. Yeah, do it. Hopefully it's just giving some of you guys confidence, if you're new to VATSIM as well, being able to connect and see what's going on, albeit with a bit of pressure, because it's on a live stream, but hopefully it gives you a bit of confidence to crack on and do this anyway. Just give it a go. I don't think Norwich has S1. Yeah, I think you've got to be S2 because it's just tower, I think, or it's just radar. I can't remember 100%. I know they've got rid recently of a lot of different rules and different kind of combined frequencies. Like Edinburgh, for example, and East Midlands used to have delivery. They've taken those frequencies away now because they don't have them in real life. So ground also does delivery, which is good because it's forcing me to do delivery as well. And hopefully, you know, if you are new to VATSIM and you're kind of a bit nervous with it, I'm not very good at controlling, and I'm quite rusty because I don't do it all the time like some people do.
And stop with 110, request taxi.
Hopefully it shows that you can make mistakes. There's nothing to worry about. We're all human, and we're all trying to enjoy the same hobby. Stockwood 1108, taxi to hold point Alpha 1 runway 27 via Charlie, Romeo, and Alpha.
Alpha 127 by Charlie, Romeo, and Alpha, Stockholm 108.
Dink. Bosh. Move the strip. Goes. Zato, good stuff, mate. Good to hear. Darius, it certainly does. Jan, welcome. Got 6 mile final. We've got an aeroplane coming in. CKS 330. Connie, I think, is the call sign. I'm trying to think what that actually is. Seven 400. Connie coming in from Leipzig. Nice. Boeing 747-400. There he is. Queen of the skies. Is it a Clitter Air? Yeah, if I say that. He looks quick, my goodness. It is Clitter Air DHL, nice. Stockwood 1108, no further ATC, monitor Unicom 122.8, happy flying.
Well, what's this myself, 122.8, for Stockwood 108, have a wonderful day.
See ya. Ooh, where's the parking? I think that's DHL, which is right behind me. Yeah. Ah, bloody simulator. Not quite. You can't just control any in the UK. There are a fair few restrictions on what you can and can't control, sadly. I'll give him stand 100. Right out front of DHL.
East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. Connie 330 with you on hotel.
Connie 330, East Midlands Ground, good afternoon. You got stand 100 today. Left Alpha, right Bravo.
100, left Alpha, right Bravo, Connie 330.
And Jersey 4 Echo Alpha's inbound now as well. Drop it, Nick. He's a little Dash 8. Sweet. And that's automatically assigned stand 5 for him. Which is Alpha Tango. Yeah, I was going to do Luton as an option, Jan, but I put a selection of 5, I think, airports. Five different airports on our members area, and they all chose which one they wanted to see the most. Oh, chuffing heck, has he lost his nose wheel? I think he has. I love VATSIM. Yeah, has he crashed? He might have done. It looks like he's crashed. Oh well, it's a good job that wasn't live. Oh, wait. I love it. Just scraping his way off the screen. Probably quite tricky with a 15 knot crosswind. What is it at the moment? Yeah, 15 knot crosswind. It's probably quite tricky. He's coming off at Mike. I wonder if he needs the maintenance. Indeed, Mathis, yes, at least he's down. And he's off the runway almost. Oh, no, he's disconnected. Oh well. We got no traffic. Basically, yeah, it's the Homer Simpsons meme, yeah. Nothing to see here. Ray's just put a screenshot of that in our in our club lounge as well. In our Discord server, sorry, not in the club lounge, in the crew room chat. I do like a good crash on VATSIM, it's usually quite funny. Those of you on DCS, by the way, there is a super carrier update coming soon. But they've got no information as to what's included.
And East Midlands Ground, Stockholm 108, the stutters have started. We'd like to return to stand 2, 2-2, because I cannot fly in this sort of condition.
Yeah, no, it's at all. Continue taxi, Sierra Alpha, Central Apron, stand 2-2.
Continue Sierra Alpha, stand 2-2, thanks, Stockholm 108.
The sim's very broken. For what it's worth, somebody has... Ashley's put it in our club lounge, actually, for our channel members. But if I'll take that now and I'll put it in our Discord server, in the main crew room chat. There we go. It's a... it's the MSFS 2020 map enhancement mod. Apparently if you select the latest Bing map, Ashley says there, recommend people use the map enhancement mod and select a different map base. Bing latest will probably work to restoring good satellite imagery. If not, because it's also affected by the outage, then you can try Google imagery. You just need to have started the mod before you launch the sim. To be honest, Ashley says he uses this in place of the normal Bing data these days anyway, as the imagery is a lot more up to date. Interesting. So, if you want to have a little look at that with the stutters, to hopefully try and get the stutters out, then the link is in the live in the Discord server.
Thanks for ATC. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Cheers. Thanks for flying. Have a good day. Wow. So it was a departure, but he's aborted and cancelled his service because of the stutters. Zone class 23 minutes, roughly. It depends. If we get a flood of traffic, I'll stay on for a little longer, but if it stays quite calm as it is at the moment, there's no traffic actually at all, then I will just go off on the hour. Siefik, hello to you, says, does anybody know when the Boeing 777 from PMDG is going to be released? Hopefully soon, but nobody knows. Thanks for flying, Flubber Sim Pilot. Glad you enjoyed the ATC. Adam says, from Microsoft Flight Simulator's communications team, says the development team are still working to resolve this as soon as possible. We'll provide further updates
Thanks for your ATC. Have a wonderful day.
as soon as more information is available. No worries, thanks for flying. Take care. Pressure's dropping. QNH now 1008. Right, yeah, it might just be the bad data coming in from Bing, and it's now causing really big problems. Adam's saying there, Microsoft have acknowledged that the server-side issues can cause stutters and freezes. Well, there we go. That's what's causing all of our headaches for today. I remember, it was 2 years ago, wasn't it? I think do you remember when the weather stuff went down and it really broke? As in, everybody was just getting tons of crash to desktops because the weather data was feeding in a bad bit of code and it was just crashing everybody's sims. And that took them about a week to fix. So we've got Tomjet 79 Charlie's arriving in Dubrovnik shortly. He took off at the start of our flight today. He's en route. He's arrived. Virgin 99999 is almost back with us. And Ryanair 1 Tango Whiskey. Is miles away, so we won't be on for when he arrives. There's no one else inbound. I know, Darius. Always the way. I've got the best of luck. Ancient Dino, I think it's just the server problems causing all manner of other issues in the sim. tech no-brainer of a released yow. Very nice. And it's raining where I am, so probably is a bit of mist in the distance actually. They might get it fixed, Ancient Dino. I probably will do a different airport next time, Derpy Pilot. Bristol's always a nice one. Luton, like that's got a good scenery as well. Or I might just do Manchester. I might try and book Manchester next time. That's always pretty busy on the VATSIM network, to be fair. No, I'm not AFIS rated. Can't do that as a ground controller. I can do ground and delivery and that's it basically. And I can't do Gatwick and I can't do Heathrow, even though I know Heathrow like the back of my hand. But it's just them the rules. It's all good. I'm quite happy just doing as I am at the moment, to be fair, because it's the progression with VATSIM UK, we were talking about it earlier on, is pretty much impossible to get anywhere beyond ground unless you solely do ATC all the time. 95%, 98, you know, probably 99% of my time I'm flying around. Once every 2-3 months I might do a controller day. Glacial, David, yes. Progression with VATSIM UK is glacial. I like that. Is there any rain to the south, Dwyle? So actually, we're looking, that's north, isn't it? What would show it? Let's have a little look. Windy.com. What's new in version 42? I don't care. Okay, there's a bit of Derby. There's the airfield. Yeah, there's a bit of rain to the north actually. But it's more actually kind of behind the camera. I think that's just a bit delayed. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of rain. But that, according to the weather radar on windy.com, is actually there. Sim aware. Trying to get an idea of where Wesley is. He's inbound. He's getting close actually. He's about 15 minutes away. 10 minutes, not even that. Come on Wesley, no pressure. I'm waiting for you, and when you're in I'll log off. So you'll be my last bit of traffic. There's nobody else flying in for at least 2 hours, and there's nobody flying out. There's an airplane without a flight plan. Boss, there's no rain at all anywhere for him. Crikey. Leaked Aviation says, how long did it take for you to become an air traffic controller with VATSIM UK? So I did it during COVID. which meant that I had the opportunity. There was a little bit more flexibility with like some of the mentors. They had a bit more time because everybody was work from home or all that sort of stuff. So I managed to get the training done during coronavirus. So quite a while ago actually now, really. 2020. But if I wanted to now progress on to become a tower controller, I would have to join a queue, which is 1.5 years long to 2 years long, to be in with a chance to finally get my mentor session. But within that time, to retain my space and position on the queue, I would have to control more and more and more and more. Otherwise, the person below me in the queue could control more than me, and then they can overtake my position in the queue. So, what's the point? As David said, it's glacial, but it's also very backwards. You can't just join the queue and then wait for your slot. Instead, you've got to control more and more and more and more to actually be in with a chance. And if you control fairly slowly, or every now and again, like me, I'll control once every 3 months for a bit these days, or try to. It means I just can't progress. Whereas he says, I've held the S1 rating longer than he has. He's held it for 1.5 years before progressing on without telling anybody. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, also Pidgey is ridiculous. Because it stops people like me actually going on to do tower, radar, all the stuff that I would really actually genuinely quite like to be able to do. Same with the Gatwick endorsement. I won't be able to become a Gatwick controller or a Heathrow controller because of the rules that they put in place. And again, there's queuing systems for that as well. So, what's the point? There isn't. My recommendation to most of you would be, if you want to become a VATSIM controller, go and do go and do it for like VATSIM Scandinavia or something like that instead. Or VATSIM Canada. I can't remember the precise rules, David. It's quite prescriptive, isn't it? Yeah, Danger Dino again, precisely. You'd love more air traffic control at Leeds, but the issue there is there isn't a ground controller frequency. So you have to be tower or above. You wouldn't want to necessarily move Awesome Pigeon. Once you get your S1 in Canada, do your S2 in Canada. And stick with it. And actually, you'll probably find there'll be more traffic over there, because people will go, oh, Vancouver's got traffic online, or Calgary. I'm going to go and do a flight from Calgary to JFK or something instead, because most people in Canada would be asleep when we're awake in the mornings. So it gives people a bit more international variety for VATSIM coverage, which I quite like the idea of. Fleet Aviation says, how do I search to be an air traffic controller? He's from Denmark. Denmark, VATSIM. I'm googling it. They're part of VATSIM Scandinavia, I believe. There you go. I'll put the link for you, Fleet Aviation, in the live chat. And that goes directly to VATSIM Scandinavia's website, training frequently asked questions. So one of that is how to start ATC training with VATSIM Scandinavia. You go over to their control center, the link is on there. You log in via your VATSIM single sign-on, choose your country of interest. So you could choose specifically for you, Denmark, and then request your training. validation is a major airport endorsement or special area endorsement only, then yes. If the checkout is obtained for a new rating like S2, your rating must be upgraded before you can open the position. You'll receive an automatic email from the VATSIM network when the upgrade is completed. That's pretty quick anyway. It can take 72 hours for you. Yeah. VATSIM Scandinavia sounds like the way to go. Darius says the VATSIM country that he's waiting for training for is Romania. Nice, so they're going to open in July. I haven't, Dino, no. Awesome Pigeon says, who runs Gander or Shannon or Oceanic out of interest? That is Gander Oceanic, isn't it, I think? Yeah. GanderOceanic.ca. I'll put the link in the live chat there as well for anybody interested there. Awesome Pigeon. You can train to become a controller with them as well, I think. Who are we? Roster, controller roster, news events. I don't really know how that works too much. Yeah, there you go. We control the skies. Apply now. So you could do that as well. But yeah, as David is saying, control where you want to fly, where you want to control. So if you really want to be a controller in the UK, join the massive queue to do it in the UK. Failing that, go somewhere else. If you've got like a, for example, if you fly around in Microsoft Flight Simulator and you absolutely love Oslo or Helsinki, join VATSIM Scandinavia. If you adore the Greek islands and you love Athens, for example, and you fly to Skiathos a lot, apply to join Hellenic VAC, which are a really passionate group of people, really good blokes there. For me, my pull would be either Hellenic VAC or VATSIM Scandinavia, because both of those regions are stunning anyway. There are really good, there's really good scenery for those regions as well in general, and some good controller coverage quite generally anyway. Darius, yeah, the Slovakia, Bulgaria might have a lower queue, yes, but they also might have less mentors. So well, you might find that you're in the queue for just as long as you would in VATSIM UK or something instead. Precisely, Chris. Precisely. Most controllers in the UK, I think, are ground or delivery, and they're just like I am. They're just stuck. They can't progress any further, so they don't bother, and they'll do the minimum like I do to keep your rating endorsed. So I have to control for 3 hours every quarter, otherwise they're going to revoke my controller access, which I think is a good rule, because it means that they're forcing other people to become current again, and control more, but it doesn't help people progress still. And all it does is it has the backward kind of thing of, like David was a VATSIM UK controller. I think from memory, David, you could do tower, maybe approach, maybe just tower, and then again massive queue, got stuck, waited, loads of controlling experience, and then got tired of waiting, so went to VATSIM Canada instead and changed. And now David, you'll find quite often controlling around the middle of the day for us UK time. Quite often we'll be controlling Vancouver. So if you want to do that, if you're looking for somewhere to fly with controller coverage, quite often you'll find David doing Vancouver Tower and stuff like that. And again, that's got really good scenery, so that's a good place for you to go and fly if you want to fly around lovely Canada on VATSIM with some air traffic controllers. And the beauty there is David will be on as a controller early morning. The folks in Vancouver in real life will be asleep, but when they wake up, there's already a load of traffic. David's controlled a load of aeroplanes, and as he's logging off, someone else is logging in, sort of thing. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the Canadian controller's great, Chris. Darius says wants to be on Denmark 2, but I can't change his VAC for another 3 months. Yeah, so pick one and stick with it.
Hello again, Virgin 999 Alpha.
Virgin 9999, hello again. It's East Midlands Ground. Stand 22, does that work for you?
I have no clue where that is, but yes, sure.
Roger. Progressive taxi it is. Virgin 9999, take your next right into the central apron, turn left, and it's one stand in on the left, stand 22.
Progressive taxi, turn right, then turn left. One stand in on the left, stand 22, Virgin 9999, cheers. Cheers.
Lovely stuff. Thanks for flying.
Thanks for controlling.
I like control. Right. That's it from me today, folks. Hopefully you've all enjoyed the controller stream. It's what's become on Microsoft Flight Simulator's weather engine, at least, albeit inaccurate, a rather murky, wet, windy East Midlands Airport. So hopefully you've all enjoyed the traffic and seeing it from the other side, as a couple of other people have said, for the last 3 and a bit hours. Chronix, yeah, you've missed all of it. You can watch it all back on demand after the stream's finished, as well as should you wish. But yeah, thank you to every single one of you who's flown in and out of East Midlands today and tuned in from wherever you are in the world. Big thanks to all of you for hitting the like button as well. Nice to see lots of likes. Always popular streams, this. And yeah, I'll probably start to do some more controlling soon. And you know what, David? I'm very tempted to look into VATSIM Scandinavia and doing a bit of Oslo or something snazzy like that. I'm very tempted. Or Bergen, because that's beautiful. Lovely scenery there. But anyway, in the meantime, as always, enjoy the weekend, and there won't be any streams from me next week because I'm going to Wales for a week to have a little bit of a break. I'm hoping I can maybe do 1 or 2 pre-recorded bits of videos for you all to fill that gap, and then it's going to be a very busy week the week after. I'm going to try and get loads of videos, loads of streams sorted going into the start of summer, and Flight Sim Expo is kicking off next weekend as well. Very exciting, when we'll be checking in on Discord and having a little look to see what's getting announced and all that sort of stuff there too. But in the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Ta-ra.